All right, finally get this crap figured out. That was annoying. Okay, is anyone there? I know there were a couple of people waiting, but my other computer completely crapped out on me. So I'm sure all two of you left. Close that. Going with my 2012 Mac computer laptop here. So let's see. What's up, Ike, Davis, Scott, Mikey, Braden? What's going on, everybody? It's been a little while. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit busy working and whatever. And I'm trying to get all this. I had to switch everything up here, so I'm kind of a little bit disorganized trying to get this going. Okay. And then it was my son's birthday weekend, basically. I mean, we celebrated his birthday from like Thursday until yesterday. So, all right. Yeah. Tom Brady, the GOAT. I never argued that Tom Brady was the greatest of all time at all. I completely agreed. I was just rooting for Pat because he's my boy. All right. Freaking store was out of LaCroix. I was pissed. Not really. Trying to get it. This is all precision and professionalism. D&B, Step into the Light. If you haven't read it, read it. It's one of the best books. I bet I read that. I bet it took me 2 days to read that book. There we go. Literally, has anyone else read? Because I know every single one of you that's on here right now are my guitar guys. Man, I mean, so I know that none of you followed Patrick Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech like I did, because my entire family are Texas Tech alumni. But if you ever have like 5 minutes to go back and watch Patrick Mahomes play LSU in the Texas Bowl when he was our quarterback, that offensive line for Texas Tech that year is what gave him the skills that he needed to try and play the other night. Obviously, it didn't work, but that's exactly what it reminded me of, was when he was playing for Texas Tech against LSU and scrambling all over the place, and it was a disaster. Oh yeah, Scott, that book is my computer stand. I don't even know where you can find it. I mean, look at how old this thing is. It was written, I read it probably 15 years ago. This was written in 1997. This was written while they were recording Before These Crowded Streets. Think about that. Yeah, on turf toe. I mean, that's the thing is, if there's anyone I think that's going to give Brady a run for his money, I think it'll be Patrick. Sorry. Because, the guy was, so in his second year in the NFL, first year starting, he goes to the AFC Championship, loses to Tom Brady. Then the next year goes to the Super Bowl, wins, then goes to the Super Bowl in his third season and loses to Tom Brady. So when Tom Brady's gone, who, you can't say that anybody else playing right now is probably better than Mahomes, right? Not so good at trolling. Thanks. This hat's pretty disgusting. This is all sweat stains. Need to get a new one. Braden, what did I think of the halftime show? Man, first, I couldn't get past how horrible the audio was. We had our TV, and I don't have the greatest, the way that our volume is set up on our TV, it's kind of goes back into this shelving unit that we have. So it already sucks, but man, the audio, I just could not get over how horrible the freaking audio was. I couldn't hear anything. And Blinding Lights is like my son's favorite song of all time. And but he could hardly hear that. My son was just kind of watching it. And he was like, I can't hear it. So, but other than that, it was okay. It was kind of cool. It's just, I just, I just get so annoyed because I'm always, every time I watch big events, I'm just waiting for the politics of it. I'm just waiting for somebody to throw some BS out there about masks or no masks or, racism, black versus white, all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I watched the Super Bowl and the halftime show and all that stuff because I want to get away from all that crap. And so the halftime show, I just always get nervous because I'm like, what are they going to try and push? Anyways, okay, I get a little bit behind on that. Scott, let me know if you find that on eBay. Davis, Mahomes and Josh Allen have some good battles. I totally agree with that. I'm really excited about that too. That's going to be fun to watch. Davis, yes, I've seen some wonderful memes about the halftime show. Some fantastic memes. There was a pretty good little video on Instagram today of the Weeknd's cameraman. It's like this guy fighting back and forth with him. It was pretty great. Seth, what's up, man? Scott, thanks for looking that up. Step Into the Light is on eBay. Lots of copies. Braden, I'm pretty sure it's the broadcasting because we were having sound issues too. Okay, good. The Weeknd's new album is legit. I skipped some of his tracks. Brewer. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't, even though The Weeknd's like real popular, his music doesn't bother me. I really actually enjoy listening to a lot of it. Man, speaking of, I think pretty much everyone that's on here are my guitar guys. I broke a string today. Look at this. Look at this. I broke my damn D string today. I haven't broken a string. I was just sitting there playing. I can't tell you the last time I broke a string. And it wasn't even like anything crazy or anything. I was just playing one of that song that I wrote that I posted up and taught all you guys. Advin, what's up, man? I was just sitting there playing that. Man, I haven't broken a nail. I do need to change those strings, though. Man, those have been on forever. What's up, Tim? Yeah, I was playing my song, the one that I taught you guys maybe 2 weeks ago or so. It's a bit strung out. Yeah, Scott. Scott said elixirs normally never break. And they don't. Guys, I'm serious. I can't tell you the last time that I broke a guitar string. I just thought y'all would find that interesting. Yeah, Mike, at least it wasn't the raised B. Man, I hope to God I never break one of those strings. I don't know how I'm ever going to get another one again. Yeah, Brewer, I was going to ask you, I saw those pictures on Instagram, how you broke. That was a pretty rough break on your fingers. I was going to ask you how you did that. Oh, Advin, so you got did you put some raised B on yours? Davis, been meaning to ask, besides Dave, have there been any other significant guitar influences or musical influences in your life? So my musical spectrum is very broad and very random. I said that a couple of times on some of the other chats that I've done on my other channel about, I kind of go all over the place with everything. I really like, there's some random bluegrass stuff that I really enjoy. It sounds weird, but I really like that sound. But then on the flip side of that, I love listening to, I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, like just hardcore grunge. And then But then I really like classical music. Like I'd play the piano, kind of, and I learned piano kind of like I learned the guitar just kind of by ear type stuff, watching people play it and listening to it and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, man, I'm all over the place, and I'm always up for music recommendations from anyone on here. Let's see, Mike just ordered an extra light pack to complete the set. Awesome, that's awesome, Mike. Advent. Okay, so just regular strings. And Lil Wayne karaoke. That's how broad my musical spectrum is. It goes from Beethoven to Dave Matthews to Alice in Chains to Lil Wayne. Advent started learning a song called "Wandering Soul" by Kate Rusby. I'm gonna write that down. I actually have a pen today, so I can write down things that you guys tell me. Of course, I don't have a piece of paper. Yes, I do. Let's see, Davis. Love hearing other people's influences, who people learn and listen to. And that's the thing too. In guitar, like if I'm talking guitar specific, other than Dave Matthews, John Mayer a little bit here and there, but Led Zeppelin, I really gotten into a lot of just playing some random Led Zeppelin stuff. So let's see, Wandering Soul, hey Roseby. Let's see. Do I like Stone Temple Pilots? Kind of. Not a huge SDP fan, but I don't mind them. Brewer, I haven't checked out any more Bill Hicks clips lately. I did for a few days though after our last chat. It's just fantastic. Mikey, no. Mikey asked, "Can I play with my thumb on the low E string like John Mayer does a lot?" No, and I don't know if I can't, or I just feel like that's a habitual thing that you really need to pick up early on. So I think maybe I could, but I just don't. Seth, what do you think of Dave Matthews' song "Christmas Song"? Because that song stumps me. Because Dave holds religion. This is a good one, Seth. I like this. He said, "What do I think of Christmas Song" by Dave Matthews? Because that song stumps me only because Dave holds religion in a negative light. Yeah, but I think this is my interpretation. I think he has become more anti-religion the further along he's gotten in his career. And so he wrote that song it was probably one of the first 10 songs I think he wrote. And I think that but he still plays it, which I agree. It does throw me off. And then he writes songs like "Bartender" in the late '90s when he was just really kind of, kind of fallen off when they were doing like Lily White sessions, and he got all he went through that whole depression and then decided to go do Every Day. And then he had a very big personality shift in that, which is why it's surprising to me that he is so, or that he still plays songs like "Christmas Song" or like writes songs like "Bartender." It was a really good question though, because I struggle with that too. Brewer, do you remember Live and 311? Absolutely. 311 is another good one that I actually still listen to on a regular basis. Very, very talented. I've been listening just like when I work out and stuff, I listen to some Rage Against the Machine. I know it sounds like I'm just stuck in the 90s, but but man, I've just been on a Rage kick lately. Just like I said, if I work out or whatever. And like I said, 311 has some underrated talent in that band. And yeah, live. Steven said live is excellent. Yeah, live is great too. I hadn't listened to them as much since, man, the early 2000s probably. Audio Slave, another good one. Mikey, it's crazy for me to think of how many times the band is almost broken up, meaning the Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. Man, but how can you, I mean, spending that much time together for 30 years? Because, I mean, we're hitting the 30-year anniversary this year. It's crazy. Let's see. Davis, speaking of the 90s, how about Matchbox 20? Serious kick on them right now. I've never been a huge fan of theirs, but I feel like that's because everything that I've heard by Matchbox 20 is all their popular stuff. 3 a.m. and stuff like that. I feel like they're one of those bands. If you get into their stuff that's not their really popular stuff, then it's probably then they're probably a better band than I give them credit for. Do you like Steely Dan? I gotta be honest. I've just never. I hear so many good things about Steely Dan. I've just never gotten into. Just for no reason. I mean, not that I think it's. I just never really listened to 'em. Mike, Our Lady Peace. What's Our Lady Peace? Is that a band? Is that a song? Mike, join the Stuck in the 90s club. It really is. Like, I mean, I can't think of any. I just can't think off the top of my head of like any great bands that have come out since. Uh, and I mean, I know there are a lot. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think I told you guys. I mean, like lately, I've gotten into like Gregory Alan Isaacoff and um, who else? Uh, Punch Brothers is a fan. If you've never listened to Punch Brothers, it's a really interesting sound. They're like a very it's like almost like a modern bluegrass. It's really really cool. And I know I've told y'all that before on the guitar channel, but I mean, there's a ton of great bands that have come out. I'm not taking anything away from anybody. It's just I just get stuck in this '90s rut because that was when I think I was kind of evolving and figuring out music and what I like. Okay, Mike, it's a band called Our Lady Peace. Their album, write that down. It's called Clumsy. Sweet. Let's see. Davis, there's more out there than the hits on Matchbox 20. They have solid deep tracks, but I mean, just about everything Rob Thomas wrote went on the radio. That's very true, Davis. Have I ever heard of Airborne Toxic Event? Man, I feel like I have. Kind of an unfortunate name in these times. I feel like I have, but I don't. Um, but I don't know. I can't. I can't tell you anything that I know by them. Oh yeah, Scott Blues Traveler. I miss Blues Traveler. Yep, I used to love some Blues. I just haven't listened to Blues Traveler in a long time. It's funny because that was when I was in like junior high. When I first really started going to like Dave Matthews Band concerts, and so there was like the Bare Naked Ladies and um, it was Bare Naked Ladies, Blues Traveler, like that whole thing. I wish my buddy Isaac was on here. He follows this channel, but he usually works late. And I mean, that guy's like a musical. I mean, he knows every just crazy random bands. Like, oh, like I'll play him songs on the guitar. I'm like, hey, man, what do you think of this one? He goes, that sounds just like, so, and he'll rattle off some random. Oh, another good guitar influence for me is John Butler Trio. Steven, Our Lady Peace. That's one. Yeah, I wrote that down. The song "Live" was a huge hit. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Oh, he has a John Popper harmonica. Your dad has a John Popper harmonica. How freaking awesome is that? Y'all ever going broke? Throw that bad boy up on eBay. Have I ever heard of New Model Army? Advent, I have not. Man, y'all make me feel like I don't know, I don't know anything about music, which it doesn't surprise me because, man, when I went through the old Dave Matthews phase, wow, I didn't hardly listen to anything else. I mean, it was borderline pathetic, a little bit embarrassing. Lord Huron, yes, Tim. Lord Huron, Rainbow Kitten Surprise are two newer rock bands. Lord Huron, I've heard of, and Rainbow Kitten Surprise are two newer rock bands that have multiple albums that are all fantastic. And Seth, what is my opinion on System of a Down? I've always actually ironically enjoyed System of a Down. Yeah, some of their songs I'm like, but I like what's the Serge? I can't remember his last name. The lead singer, Serge, whatever his last name is. I've always really, really liked that guy's voice. That's just a cool. I mean, you talk about a unique sound. I mean, and they're in System of a Down, super talented musicians too. Ever heard of Chon? Chon. We all have tendencies to get in those phases where we want to hear one thing and shut everything else. Yeah. Yep. You're just listening to Dave Matthews Davis. Trust me, bud. I can relate. My phase was about 15 years long. Steven, I was obsessed with OAR in the 2000s. Man, I feel like OAR was on such a good track to kind of carry the torch for Dave Matthews. They weren't as alternative as Dave, and I don't mean alternative like alt rock. I mean just an alternative sound. And I just feel like so many of the Dave Matthews fans were kind of waiting for OAR to be like this torchbearer for all of us, and we were all like, "What are you gonna do?" And then they just went and just got so, and like you said, just got so cheesy now that it's just like, oh man, I haven't listened to OAR in forever. Scott, I'm still in the D&B phase, is always ongoing. It is. It absolutely is. Let's see. Ike, ever heard of Polyphia? Nope. I have now. I'm gonna check them out. Everything you guys are saying, I gotta check this stuff out now. Because my thing is, I'm always up for, as far as music goes, I'm always up for like a good acoustic. Obviously, I mean, I always love anything acoustic. Steven, Maroon 5's first few albums were so different / good prior to their super pop stuff. Yeah. It just drives me crazy when these bands start off so good, when they're really getting like I don't want to sound cheesy, but like this organic sound, and then the money comes into play, and it's like, well, hey, write this song. We're gonna write this song called Sugar. You know, it's just like, okay, cool, whatever sells. And I had that animosity towards the Dave Matthews Band in 2001 whenever Every Day came out. I was like, what is this? And then Stand Up came out, and I was like, wow, this makes Every Day sound like the greatest album I've ever heard. See, Davis, your Dave Matthews phase was from birth till about 12. Saw 2 shows as a kid, consistently emulating Dave from the listener supported in Central Park. It is absolutely crazy to look back then to now. Steven, You're waiting for great things to continue. All OAR stuff now is just fake reggae sounding. Yeah, it's really a bummer. Brewer, what's the sophomore? What was the sophomore slump? Scott, for any guitar people, you must listen to Joe Bonamassa. Yeah, Joe. I always say Joe Bonamassa. Anyone else? Is that the way you say it, or Joe Bonamassa? Mesa? I say Massa. All right, take it easy, bud. We'll see you next time, man. Mike, the Blue Method, super funky, soulful band, local to Philly, but never made it big. Blue Method. That's that's why I love doing these chats, because I'm like, that's somebody I would have never ever heard of. Davis, love me some old school reggae. I can always get down with some old school reggae. It's funny though, because I'm not like the biggest Bob Marley fan. But there's a lot of his stuff that I'll listen to that I enjoy. But there's just some stuff that I'm like, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. Advent, another band I used to listen to some years back were Osric Tentacles. I've never heard of them. Add another one to the list. All right, so we've gone from football to music. Where are we going to go next? No, Brewer, I know the sophomore slump, but Dave Matthews Band never had a sophomore slump. Theirs was let's see, Remember Two Things, Crash, or I'm sorry, Under the Table, Crash, Before These Crowded Streets. They had a fifth year slump when Every Day came out. All right, Davis, Netflix, go. What are we going to talk about? What Netflix y'all talking? I'm watching Godless. If you have not watched Godless on Netflix, go watch it right now. It is so good. And it stars Jeff Daniels as this complete just piece of garbage person. I mean, he's horrible. And you think like, well, I can't, you think of the guy on Dumb and Dumber and the diarrhea scene, and you're like, God, how is this going to affect the way this show is? It's just really good. It's set out, it's set in the West in the late 1800s. And he's just like this ruthless guy. And I don't want to give anything away, but y'all check out Godless. Tim Fogarty, OAR's live album Rain or Shine is still incredible today. Yeah, saw it live, waited through 3 hours, thunderstorm to do so. That's awesome. That's cool. Advent, very psychedelic. I would assume you're talking about the Osric Tentacles on that one, huh? Tim Carson, you always say you're at Dave and Tim Las Vegas. Yep. I've been to any other that was put on an album. No, Tim. I was trying to think of I thought there was a live tracks that came out that I went to. I think Dave and Tim in Vegas was the only album concert that I was at that was released. I wish they would have kept all the stories on there. It's fantastic. His stories at that concert were unbelievably hilarious. Davis, have I ever seen the show Awake? Yes. No, I haven't seen Awake. I was thinking of, I think, Away, which is the one where they went up into space. I watched it. That one get a little boring for me. With Hilary Swank and all them. The $1 Million Game. Nope. I haven't seen it, but sometimes I really like game shows. It's another stupid game show that these people stay awake for 24 hours and then go through million challenges to win $1 million. That's awesome. Scott, I got into Walking Dead late. I was a late comer to Walking Dead. Um, but I liked it. I liked everything I saw. I didn't see like, and it sucks because I didn't see like the first probably. I think I got in on season 5 or 6 on that. Davis, fun fact: Jeff Daniels and Dave Matthews starred in a movie together called "Because of Winn-Dixie." Come on, Davis. You think I didn't go see that like the weekend it came out in theaters? uh, Steven is or Scott currently on season 6 and having it's things about the later seasons. Yeah, it gets kind of off talking about Walking Dead. Steven, is Godless made by Netflix? I'm 99% sure yes. It's just a quick little series. It's 7 episodes, and those 7 episodes are just as solid as the 6 seasons of Peaky Blinders. I mean, those 7 episodes is just it's good, but I really like old, like kind of Western, ruthless. I don't want to say it's like a Western because the story is very different. It's just it's really good. Okay, sorry guys, I got a little bit. Let me try and so political correction by any means necessary. How am I doing? Good. How are you doing? I feel like it's probably something just kind of passing through here. Brewer, have you seen Lake City? No, Dave plays the drug dealer. The movie isn't too good. Dave actually does pretty good. His character is dark. See, and that's it. Lake City. No, I want to check that out because I want to see him. Every movie I've seen him in, he's just acted like a goof. Other than because of Winn-Dixie, but his part in Winn-Dixie wasn't just like huge. But I'd like to see him do some cool stuff, like something dark like that. It'd be really cool. Advent. The last series I watched was Fringe. Don't watch much TV to be honest. Yeah. And see, I don't either. I just sometimes if I unwind at nighttime, have a drink or something, man, I just love putting on Netflix and just kind of zoning out or playing the guitar. Seth, I think Training Day is on Netflix. Also, The Sixth Sense on Netflix. I think both are amazing movies. Totally agree. I've never really seen a movie with Denzel Washington that I didn't think was absolutely fantastic. Man on Fire. I forgot to tell you guys that in my top movies list, I put Man on Fire maybe at number 1. Let's see. See, and I haven't gotten into Cobra Kai. I keep hearing all about it, but I haven't gotten into it. Davis, the only reason I watched because of Winn-Dixie was because of Dave Matthews, of course. Steven Brewer. Let's see, Davis, just go with it. Man, it's just a gem in its own. Yeah, him and Just Go With It's fantastic. Oh, Brewer, thanks for the spoiler. Dave Matthews gets shot in the head in Lake City. Scott, Flight was a really great movie. I forgot Denzel Washington was in that. I haven't seen that in forever, but I really enjoyed that. Mike, I don't watch much TV either, but when I do, I don't sleep. When I do, I don't sleep and watch all 5 seasons in 3 days. Man, that's one of my problems. I will do that. That's why I try to play the guitar instead so that I can actually be doing something like somewhat mentally productive. But I've been trying to write other songs that I can maybe just teach on the guitar channel too. But I have a ton of Dave Matthews songs that I'm working on to post up here this week and next week. Advent, nice way to relax. She's another method to relax. Nudge, nudge. Steven, there is a new Denzel movie on HBO. I wonder if it's any good. What's it called? Oh, Tim said the movie is actually pretty bad. Wished it was better. Because I really can. I'm a man. What else? Training Day, Man on Fire. Gosh, I mean, he just had so many movies, and they're all fairly solid. Scott said that he agrees that the new Denzel movie is pretty bad, unfortunately. Ready to watch Peaky Blinders, Davis. Killian Murphy in Peaky Blinders makes Peaky Blinders. It's freaking phenomenal in Peaky Blinders. What's up, Ethan? Davis Bone Collector. Love Denzel in that. I never saw Bone Collector. Add it to the list, though. Scott, if I were you, I'd quit in the middle of Walking Dead and just watch Peaky Blinders. It's that good, man. Brewer, Davis, you're gonna love Peaky Blinders. Brewer, did you get through all 6 seasons or whatever season we're on right now? So good. So good. All right, well, now I've sufficiently bored y'all for about 15 solid seconds while I drink my water. Brewer just finished season 3 this morning, Peaky Blinders. Scott, no, I haven't watched the Punisher. But Scott says that it's amazing. I trust you, Scott. I trust you. Oh, Advent. Good call. One of my favorite Denzel movies is John Q. Fantastic. I haven't seen that. I might actually watch that sometime soon. That was a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. What else? We're going from Netflix. Where do you want to go? We've gone sports, Super Bowl, to music, to Netflix. I got about 10 minutes left, and then I'm going to go eat some dinner because I'm starving. Where are we going to go? Where are we going from movies, everybody? I wish I was quick enough to think of let's see. Brewer, I've never watched The West Wing, but I actually always heard it was good. We started Lost too. My wife and I started Lost maybe 4 years ago, and just watched the first couple episodes and never got into it. Ethan, what's my favorite food? I'm gonna go tacos. Tacos all the way. There's a smaller chain down here in Texas called Torchy's Tacos, and it'll blow your mind how good it is. Yeah, Stephen. Lost. See, that was the thing. Lost was really good back then, and then it just kind of. Oh yes, Stephen. Stafford to LA. Are you glad to see, as a Detroit person, Stephen? Are you glad to see Stafford gone? Because I was shocked that trade happened. I'm going to do an episode later this week. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on that a little bit, but I'm interested as a Detroit person. Seth, let's talk philosophy. Let's do it. Yeah, Davis. I'm a soft corn. I'm actually a soft corn tortilla guy. Not big on the hard shell tacos at all. So I'm always either going soft flour or soft corn. Just depends on the restaurant. Some restaurants do their flour tortillas a lot better. Stephen, okay, on the Stafford trade, Stephen being a Detroit guy, we universally want him to do well or thrilled with what we got in return. I'm just gonna be so interested because I in my opinion, I think Stafford will be better at LA than Goff will be in Detroit. But because I just think Sean, I don't know. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, but whenever I do another episode, but I just could not believe when I saw that trade happened. And I don't know why it shocked me so much, but let's see. Tim watched The Devil All the Time last night. Netflix movie with a solid cast. The Devil All the Time. Oh, moving down. Worth the 2 hours if you're stuck on what to watch. Noted. Yeah, Davis. LA on that trade dealt all their first rounders until basically 2024. Yeah. Seth, great question. So we're shifting from sports over to philosophy. Is there a gray area to morality, or is it binary? Elaborate a little bit on that with me. Just a little bit. I get where you're going, but I want to make sure I'm on the same page. Elaborate just a little bit on that for me, because I like that. I like that question. Yeah, Mike, Stafford in 2 first round. Right? What? Isn't that what it was? Right? Stafford and 2 first round picks. Now this is a real chat right here, going from morality being binary to Stafford and 2 first round draft picks. I like it. Steven says, so Stafford's mostly liked, but it's accepted we aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Good to get something for him. I agree with that. We know Goff's a stopgap to a new quarterback. He will suck here. Brewer, Detroit is a dumpster fire. I don't think Steven would probably argue that, or anyone else. It is. Okay, so the trade was okay. Goff, 2 first rounders and a 3rd rounder. Wow, that is one hell of a trade. Mike, and so are the Lions. That's funny. I get that. That's funny. Davis, not wanting to. Hey, we can go all over the damn place. You want to talk sports, philosophy, and aliens? That's what we're here for. It's called random chats, right? Tim, I agree. It was a good trade. Man, I just 2 first rounders and a 3rd rounder. I don't know, man. That is a hardcore trade. Yeah, Tim. Rams get the guy to win now. Detroit got 2 first round picks. That's true. That is very true. The crazy things, I'm like, man, saying so where it says Rams get the guy to win now, I'm like, but is Stafford going to be the guy to win right now? That's the question. Seth, where'd you go on the philosophical morality binary question? Perfect timing. When it comes to morality, so here's my philosophical opinion. Seth asks, when it comes to morality, is it just black and white, or is there morality that is gray that doesn't equate to good or evil? Advent says morality is subjective, I believe, but does morality exist other than a construct of mankind? So let's sit on that one for a minute. We'll end here on this because I'm about to have to go eat dinner. But I would trust me. As hungry as I am, I would much rather talk philosophical stuff like this because I love it. So I don't think anything in this life is black or white. I think that we have all I think we've all constructed a mentality that everything has to be black and white, and that's why I get so annoyed with politics, especially in the United States, is because I think that just the true foundations of what we are as humans and how the complexity within us and within our brains and just within our body, everything within our bodies. I can't understand that anything, including morality, could be black and white. I don't. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but it's such a deep question that I'm going. No, I don't think. I think it's ignorant to think that anything is just completely black and white in this life. Period. Um, because there's so many things that we're still learning, and we're such. We think we're like this genius species, but I still think we are so underdeveloped. That that's probably why people do think so many things in this life are black and white, and there's no. Hold on, everyone. Where'd I go? Where'd y'all go? Okay, sorry, my computer screwed up there. So yeah, I don't. To answer your question, no. I know that was kind of like a rambling answer, and I would. Hey, jerky, that's great. Go somewhere else. Sitting here talking about philosophical stuff, and got jerky over here, acting like an idiot. So yeah, I would go. What does everybody else think on that? I mean, do you kind of agree with that? I just think that this life is so complex and not simplistic enough for anything to be black and white. That's the short version of what I think of morality. And I wish I could give you just a straightforward example of that. I'm not going to do that because I really can't. I can't pinpoint anything that's in that middle ground. I just instinctually think that it's not. Let's see. Davis, I agree with. So Advent asked if who would win between ET and Alf, and I agree with Davis. He said Alf is nearly human sized, but ET has the superior mind, I believe. So I would go with ET as well. Take it easy, Steven. It's good talking to you, man. We'll see you next time. We're a virus in shoes. That's as simplistic as it gets, right? That's funny. I'm going to get, okay, so we've been on here for about 48 minutes. I'll stick around till 50 to see if anybody answers on my philosophical. In the meantime, anybody else have a fun question about morality or something philosophical? Or not? Yeah, Seth. Seth just said, I like talking about this kind of stuff. It's interesting to hear people's opinions about that stuff. Yeah. And Advent does perhaps didn't have much. All right, fellas. It's been fun. It's been real. And it's been real fun. I always enjoy these. I have a blast on this stuff. Yeah, Brew, that's one of my favorite lyrics. We're just a collection of selves overrating themselves. Hello, God, I'm avoiding the truth. Right? Anyways, take it easy, guys. I want to try and do another one later on this week. Probably throw up one of the little episodes. Got some random stuff to throw down on you. And you guys stay healthy. Take it easy. And I will see you later on this week. See ya.